So, a couple days ago, I did 3 videos covering the JediPaxis spoilers for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and I was one of the only dudes who, well, not, I guess I was one of the only guys on YouTube, anyways, to pretty much call shenanigans on those and say, they don't sound real. There's a lot of holes here. Well, today I stumbled upon Bespin Bulletin on Instagram, who is legit. I actually have a lot of respect for Bespin Bulletin because they do put out, good stuff. But I also feel like Bespin Bulletin really buys into these JediPaxis leaks that I consider to be BS. Well, today, there are new leaks out that apparently contradict the previous JediPaxis leaks from JediPaxis, who posted them on Reddit. And he actually, Bespin Bulletin says here, you shouldn't take all these leaks as gospel. View all leaks with some skepticism by all means, but please be kind to one another and those giving you the information. So, yeah, Bespin Bulletin should definitely not be attacked for any of this. But at the same time, JediPaxis or JediPaxis, it says I thought it was Praxis the whole time. I guess it's Paxis. Dude, you gave us an entire film's worth of leaks, the whole movie pretty much, and now they're changing things. Or maybe you're changing your story. So before you watch this video, I would highly advise you to watch the previous 3 videos I did on the spoilers. We are going to get into possible spoilers here, so you've been warned, okay? If this is real, then good. Well, not good. If this is real, it's real, and if it's fake, it's fake. I have not read these yet. Like, doing this video is my first time actually reading these, so I will be learning about this as you are with me if you haven't read them yet. So let's get right into it here. Now, again, I'm going to zoom in here. There are some real changes here, and I'm going to read this assuming that you guys already read the previous Last Jedi spoilers, the ones, the 3 videos I did, or you read them just by yourself. I'm going to assume you already know about that before actually, just letting you know that. So, again, let's get right into it. Spoilers, here we go. Luke and Leia's training sequence is no longer the opening of the movie. It may be cut or moved. The opening of the film is now an Exegol. A control tower rises from the ground and transmits a signal. Some rumbling below the surface of the planet. Then Sith fleet Star Destroyers break through the rocky surface. So that sounds a lot more like a Star Wars opening. For a Star Wars movie to start with a flashback is really weird and not something they've ever done before, except for Rogue One. Rogue One did start with a flashback, and I thought it was pretty effective, even though I think the lack of a crawl, looking back, it would have been easier to have a crawl. But other than that, no main Star Wars film, like, numbered movie, saga film, has had that. So this makes more sense, all right? That's fine. The Oracle sequence has been removed. So that whole thing about the Oracle, right, and how, Kylo Ren sees the Oracle, and which is this big, like, creature, like the spider creature or whatever on top of it with a baby's head. That was leaked by Making Star Wars. Now they're saying that it's not even in the movie anymore. I'm really skeptical, dude. I'm smelling all this being Disney leaks. People have accused Jason from Making Star Wars of being a Disney shill. I don't believe that to be the case, honestly. I do think that he has real sources because he's proven it even years ago. But it's weird that they're now removing it. So, again, that makes me question this leak more than that one because I still believe it's in the movie. But he's saying, JediPaxis is saying that it got removed, and they're saying the killing natives has been toned down. Okay, well, I don't know why they would do that, but Kylo on the swamp planet will now come across a castle and find the Wayfinder in a chest. I mean, is this Dragon Quest? Legend of Zelda? This is weird. Like, what is this? Anyways, Kylo gets a flashback hearing Luke and Han before hearing Palpatine calling out to him. Rey's mental training on the Forest planet will be her attempting to communicate with Jedi of the past. I mean, that makes sense. Rey will appear more angry, frustrated with her physical training on the Forest planet with her cutting a tree that accidentally falls on BB-8. That I totally could see because, again, it's that typical, like, J.J. Abrams comedy. Rey will try to reach out to Luke but fail. Okay, again, all of that makes sense. Like, all of that fits with what I think could make sense in the film. Rey tries to give Leia the Skywalker saber as she feels undeserving. I don't know about that. Kylo's meeting with Palpatine has changed. Kylo is more angry in the scene. Instead of a conversation, Kylo threatens Palpatine with his lightsaber ignited. Okay, that's more like Kylo because he doesn't take orders from nobody. Curt words are thrown back and forth. Palpatine doesn't refute that he died above Endor. So he's he doesn't refute that he died. So he's saying he did die? Okay. Are they going to explain why he's alive? It says Palpatine mocks Kylo's "Let the Past Die" theme and insists the past is the key to the future. Rey's lineage reveals the Sith fleet has been years in the making. The Empire needs a ruler. So, again, that all makes sense. If Palpatine's offering to give Kylo the fleet, that does fit with Kylo's character. If you remember in the original leak, it was like, okay, well, do me a favor and find her, and then you guys can come in and kind of be this duality gimmick or whatever. And then Kylo listens to him, whereas Kylo doesn't care. But if Palpatine is playing to Kylo's ego and he's like, yo, take the fleet, then that does seem to make more sense. Okay, so this does fix a lot of problems. I wonder if JediPaxis watched my video and was like, yeah, let me make some changes here to his phony leaks, if these are phony. I'm not going to say they're 100% phony yet. I think the previous ones are, but I can't say for sure. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, bro. And if I'm right, I'm right. Now, it says here, Palpatine doesn't mention the dyad anymore. See, I thought that was always a dumb idea. This whole, like, Kylo Ren and Rey together form a dyad thing. Like, the whole darkness rises and light to meet it gimmick from Last Jedi makes sense in a way, right? But this whole thing about how they both have to exist, I mean, one of them's going to have to die eventually, right? And then somebody else has to come up. That's just how it is. Bulio is Poe and Finn's informant, the middleman between the Resistance and General Hux. That's fine. Rey yells at Poe for damaging the Falcon with light speed springing, and Poe yells at her for damaging BB-8. All right, again, more of that comedy. During the Resistance conversation regarding the info from Bulio, it's revealed that Snoke wasn't a pawn in Palpatine's game. Instead, he rose to power in the unknown regions. Finn worries that the Sith fleet will kidnap children to staff a fleet of that size. I mean, haven't they already been doing that? And so the idea of Snoke not being a pawn, again, that changes from the old leaks that we got, which is why I think most of this is BS, but let's keep going here. But they do say he rose to power in the unknown regions, but how? And how did he take the First Order? That's what I want to know. Well, again, we're not even done yet. We're going through all these on this video. We're about halfway done. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, just letting you know. A room of high-ranking First Order officers is gathered, including Hux and Pride. Bulio's head is thrown into a table, with Kylo revealing he knows there is a mole within the First Order. Okay, that's a badass scene. That is more like to my liking. He just throws the dude's decapitated head. Like, that's some, like, Dark Knight Joker shit right there, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a smile on my face. That's the Kylo Ren I want, bro. Ruthless, right? And he goes on to say, he's revealing he knows there's a mole within the First Order, but Kylo hopes it'll draw out Rey. An officer suggests the Sith fleet cannot be trusted, but Kylo throws him into the ceiling and drops him to the floor. Again, that's what I like. More of that Kylo Ren not caring. Maz Kanata gives Rey a pep talk before she leaves for Pasaana. And that's another good point. There was no Maz Kanata in the other leaks at all. Like, nothing. So, again, another movie where she doesn't do anything. Rey tells the gang that Luke left notes in the Jedi text about a Sith artifact with coordinates. They go to Pasaana to seek out a hermit Luke once knew. That's interesting, but it also makes me wonder, why would she want to go after that? Like, I would assume Luke has tons of notes about his adventure, but why would he want to go after that? Why would she, like, is it the Force telling her to do it? I mean, I guess that's kind of contrived, but it's Star Wars. Pasaana Force Bond. Kylo antagonizes Rey over her parents telling her and nobody's understanding or accepts her but him, of course. Rey travels to the Pasaana Festival crowd to tell her friends the First Order know of their location, but stormtroopers ambush them. Somebody in the crowd saves them and escorts them to safety. It's Lando. Luke and Lando's quest to find the Sith relics in Ochi. They were seeking Ochi due to his knowledge of wayfinders, but only found his ship on Pasaana, not him. So why was Luke and Lando going on an adventure to try to unravel this weird Sith mystery, right? Palpatine's contingency plan is what they're talking about here, and then he just stops. Why wouldn't Luke... Again, it goes back to my problems with Last Jedi. Why wouldn't Luke tell Leia, or at least tell Rey? Like, why wouldn't Luke tell Rey, yo, there's something else going on here. It's not just Snoke and Kylo. It just comes off like JJ, if this is real, is trying to shoehorn this story in, but it's not tying into the previous two films. Like, there was no teasers for this. There was no hints whatsoever in any of the previous films that there's a mysterious fleet out in space. It was only in the books, and that presumably was picked up by Snoke and became the First Order, right? That's all in the Aftermath books and the stuff like that, the other books as well. But, and it's not really explained in detail, but that's kind of what most fans assumed based on what we read. Well, it's weird because here it's like, okay, Luke and Lando knew there was something else going on, but they didn't tell anybody. Like, why didn't Luke tell Rey? Like, oh, by the way, besides Snoke and Kylo, there's something else going on here. You should be aware of this. Like, when he was still alive. Is it another deleted scene? I mean, come on. They're making it up as they go along, bro. It's so obvious. Like, they already admitted it, but you can't even deny they had no plan. Lando believes the First Order wanted to turn children of the rebellion heroes into stormtroopers as revenge for the Empire. Why would that be revenge? I mean, I guess children of the rebellion heroes, but like who? I guess Lando's kid. That would kind of make sense in a way, but that's a weird version of revenge. TIE fighters can be heard, and Lando says, I got a bad feeling about this. Of course, every Star Wars movie has that. The Resistance crew flee on speeders being chased by the First Order and the Knights of Ren. Now, again, that's in the first trailer, and there was zero mention of this in the previous JediPaxis leak. So this dude probably went back and watched the trailer and was like, oops. That's why I think a lot of this is BS, folks, because they left out so many things that were in the trailer, right, out of these leaks, and now they're putting it back in. So, but again, maybe the guy forgot, or, maybe he is a legitimate leaker. I don't know. I am skeptical, and let me be skeptical here. I think most of you guys are too, because y'all are pretty smart. But we'll see. I'm actually interested to see where this goes. So, Falcon is detained. Chase ends, and the First Order troopers are getting killed. Ochi was a Sith assassin and not a Sith loyalist. It just sounds like he's changing things, dude, from the last one. There's no reshoots, dude. Oh, they changed things. No, brother, you're changing things, bro. They find the dagger, which has writing on it. Rey reveals the tradition for assassins to inscribe secrets on their weapons. 3PO, that's cool. 3PO can read the inscription, but he's forbidden by his programming from telling anybody what it says. Okay, that's weird, but okay. Zori and Poe have a past. They were spice runners, and Poe still owes her money. Yeah, I guess Poe is definitely the new Han Solo, right? Rey and Zori get into a scuffle, with Rey attaining the upper hand and Zori agreeing to take out heroes to Babu Frick. All right, these names. Zori and Poe reminisce about the past. Zori gives Poe a First Order Captain Medallion, which will help them get through the First Order security. She's been saving the medallion to help her off Kijimi and end the spice running days. Poe wants her to join the Resistance, but she refuses. Rey senses Kylo's Star Destroyer and feels Chewbacca still alive on board the ship. Of course, if you remember, Chewbacca got kidnapped, by the First Order and the other leaks. And then Rey destroys the ship with Force lightning, supposedly. But again, it just sounds weird. It just sounds very unlike Disney to make Rey do that. But who knows? Again, who knows? This is the motivation for getting on the Destroyer and not the Falcon. On the Star Destroyer, Rey finds the Sith dagger, and upon picking it up, she gets a vision of what happened to her parents. Ochi kills them with her parents trying to hide Rey. Kylo reveals that Ochi was meant to find and take Rey, but her parents got in the way. So he was supposed to. So how would Kylo know that? All right, that Rey, that he was supposed to take Rey. I guess she was Force sensitive. I don't know. During Kylo and Rey's confrontation in the person, she tells Rey of her lineage, which is again the whole Palpatine story, which contradicts what Hidalgo said on Twitter, saying Palpatine had no children. Well, we'll see where this goes. Pride kills General Hux for being the mole. So I thought it was going to be Kylo that killed them, but it's Pride instead. Pride informs Kylo that they know where the Resistance is heading. Luke no longer appears to Leia as she dies, but R2-D2 is there with her. Oh, that sucks. Palpatine senses Leia's death. He believes this leaves Rey with less people to turn to. It's just, Leia dying is a bummer, dude. It really is. It really is. And how are they going to even shoot that? I guess maybe they could take a scene of when she was knocked out in Last Jedi and kind of change the background and whatnot. I guess they could do that, right? Like, change the location with CGI technology. That would make sense. Luke Oct 2 scenes have been reshot, but the message is the same. Luke and Leia knew of Rey's lineage, and this was a factor, as Luke is not wanting to train her, but it's about what's in your heart, not in your genes. Of course, the Leia, because Luke wasn't evil like Vader. The Leia and Luke training flashback might be here. Rey inspired Leia to join Jedi Path. I mean, how did Rey inspire Leia to rejoin the Jedi Path? I guess that might be like in between episodes 8 and 9. Like maybe after her bond with Luke, Leia got back into it. I mean, that would sort of make sense. I don't know. But that being said, this whole thing about they knew of Rey's lineage. I mean, did Han know? Because he always gave her that weird look. The Resistance. And again, Luke, why didn't he tell her? You know, why, like, it's like the whole thing, like, you're going to be a hypocrite and be mad at Obi-Wan in Empire and Jedi and be like, why didn't you tell me? Well, I mean, I did tell you from a certain point of view. Yeah, screw you, Obi-Wan, you liar. And he's doing the same thing to Rey. Like, come on, dude. Like, the Resistance crew learns of Leia's death when they return to the Forest planet, and the crew mourns with Chewbacca crying. Seeing everybody as at a loss, Lando tries to give some hope. Rey no longer transmits the coordinates to the Resistance. Instead, Dio reveals how to get to Exegol. The Resistance fleet takes off in one direction, the Falcon in another. The blockade runners piloted by Man Cal and a Sulstan. Who cares? Sorry, who cares? Royal Praetorian Guard types are present for Rey's meeting with Palpatine. Oh, are they jobbers like the last ones here? All right. I guess everything else is the same here. Like, remember, in the original leaks or whatever, she fights Kylo on Endor and beats him, and then Kylo gets redeemed afterward. I guess that's still in the movie because the guy didn't talk about it here. So we're now at the end of the film. Remember, I'm doing this video assuming you already read the other spoilers and you remember most of them. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Go back and watch that. But Praetorian Guards again. Maybe it's just the old school Red Guards, but they've been proven to be jabronis. As Rey is about to strike down Palpatine, she realizes she's not alone and senses Ben Solo, who's losing a fight with the Knights of Ren. Okay, that's not how the original scenes were. The original scenes where Kylo just eats him up. Ben Solo does. She initiates a force bond and passes him a lightsaber. That's a cool scene. All right, if that happens in the movie, I will pop. Rey fights off the guards while Ben defeats the Knights. I mean, it's cool, but if Ben Solo is so powerful with the Force and they're not, why doesn't he just knock them away like nothing? Palpatine's plan was to have Rey kill him and take over, but his contingency plan was to drain the Force through her and Ben to rejuvenate himself. Okay, but why would Palpatine want his own granddaughter to kill him? That's very unlike Palpatine. He's dying for immortality. The other one makes sense, him draining the Force through her. The Resistance plans to take out the tower on Exegol, but the First Order notices and transfers the signal to his flagship, so the Resistance needs to take the ship down to stop the Sith fleet from leaving the unknown regions. So I guess the fight is going to be in the unknown regions. Finn and Jaina ride Orbaks on the flagship, using them to take on Sith troopers. The good guys win the fight and take out the control tower within the ship, but Pride says they'll simply transfer the signal to another ship. All right. While Rey's on the ground after being drained, she calmly reaches out to the Jedi of the past for help, and she's successful. Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Leia can be heard. Wait a minute. Ahsoka Tano? Ahsoka Tano is in the movie? Like, that is a great thing, because Ahsoka is a great character from the Clone Wars and Rebels and whatnot. Y'all know who Ahsoka is if you watch those shows. I guess they're gonna have McGregor do some voiceover work, but where's Yoda at, bro? Others not specified. Force ghosts no longer. Okay, good. Force ghosts no longer appear to help Rey. It's implied that there are within her spirit. I mean, that's nice. That's better than having Luke and Leia pull a Goku and appear behind Gohan. Resistance ships come back online after Palpatine's death, and the fight continues. Lando shows up in the Falcon with reinforcements, including Zori. All right. Finn fires Star Destroyer cannons at itself, destroying the ships before the signal can be transmitted. Poe attempts a more than friend situation on the Resistance base, but is rebuffed in a moment played for laughs. So I guess he tries to hit on Zori or tries to hit on Rey. I don't know, but he gets... And that's the end. That's actually the last thing. So everything else in the film seems fine, or seems to be the same. I still don't like the ending, honestly. Rey getting inspiration from the other Jedi is cool, but that sounds okay to me. Like, that's not that bad, but the whole her going back to Tatooine and saying her name is Skywalker, I mean, it's just a little goofy. And again, it seems like they're setting up for Rey to have her own adventure, which I guess I'm okay with. You know, I guess I'm not too invested in Rey. I never really have been, except for the first movie, and then we find out she's an extreme Mary Sue. But she was cool in Force Awakens, because at least here they explain why. Like, her being Palpatine's daughter kind of takes away from her Mary Sue-ness, because she actually has power that was given to her through the bloodline, like Luke did with Anakin. You know, it makes sense. We'll see how it plays out. Overall, they did fix some things that I had problems with. I'm still skeptical, though, honestly. I'm still skeptical. We'll see what happens. There's going to be a new trailer coming out very soon. I will do a breakdown of that trailer and probably discuss some things from this in that trailer. So if it comes to light, because I think some of this stuff is real, but not all of it. Thank you again. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll talk to y'all soon. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself.